M0FXB, welcome to my Mazzy dog walk. She's there. Mazzy, where are you going? And it's quite windy, so hair's getting blown away, blown around. Anyway, a question that I get asked quite often is, what is your favourite radio? That is such a hard question to answer, because I have new favourites and favourites from when I was 20 years younger. So the first one that actually comes to mind is nearly always the Kenwood TS2000. I always loved that radio. You know, it's shack in the box, built-in tuner. You can get the 2370 if you want, not that I used it that much. I did use it a bit. Had a local community here and we used to chat to each other on 23. It was almost like a private, well, not private because it's not private, but not many had it, put it that way. That was a long time ago. And you can interface it with your PC. It's got a really cool free program software for screen control, and it's so good because there was a screenless model made, so they had to really make sure that the software was good, and it was very good. So that's one of my favorites, really. 857, 817, all that kind of stuff. 706. I love all those radios. ICOM 7000, that's the old stuff. And then we go to the modern stuff. Well, I would say probably the 7300 was one of the best HF radios ever made, so I did like that a lot. Eventually got the 705 because it pretty much did everything, and I didn't mind about the power because I didn't transmit that often on HF bands, and with QRP I can just use hotspots and my local repeater. So that was all fine. When I got the Yaesu 710, I fell in love with it. I really liked it a lot, to the point where I sort of swapped it for a 101. I actually missed the 710 because it was more compact, but the FTDX 101 is a fantastic device. And you know, a lot of people message me and they'll say to me, oh yeah, you need averaging, you know, the scope's no good without averaging on the Yaesu. It's just a repeated comment that people just repeat, yeah, and you get that a lot in ham radio. People hear something and they just repeat it. I mean, you get it in real life. I understand that having the averaging setting is another fine-tuning thing that we enjoy using with our ICOM radios. Not that I've ever set it, to be honest, and it's not there with Yaesu. But it doesn't make any difference. If you put Yaesu on, if you're on your Yaesu 710 DX10 and you're using HF and you can set the 3D display or the normal sort of ICOM-y type one with different colours, it works completely fine. You can see the weak stations and it's fine. Come on, let's face facts. Most people tune to the strong stations anyway. How often do they actually sit there and tune to the very weak signal? I find if you're listening on competitions and all that, they completely ignore the weak signals. But anyway, back to favourite radio. So, you know, some nice ones coming out. That Kenwood Tango Mic 750 looks really nice, proper crossband repeat. Like the D75 but mobile. The new FTX one. How can you not like the look of that? You know, I agree. I know we all wanted it to be sold for £1,200, but I think we were living in a dream world. It just does too much. When they added the 100-watt thing, it just wasn't going to come out at £1,200–1,300. The ICOM 705, and I've seen some reductions there, but really it still costs £1,300 to get the ICOM 705. So, you know, handheld wise, I like the 52, the ICOM 52, I like the Kenwood D75. There's lots of budget handhelds, that new Radtel 880 or iRadio 9888, they're all good sets. So it's virtually impossible to actually have a favourite. It's impossible because there's so many radios and you like them for different reasons. If you go down the DMR road and you look at all the DMR sets, everyone likes the Anytone 878. I like the, what's it called? The one that's, because it's two radios in one. The GD88. You know, because it's two radios in one. Literally two radios in one. and it's a DMR as well, and it will dual receive DMR. It's the only one that does it, but everyone doesn't like it because they say that the code plug's too complicated, which is ridiculous because all DMR radios use the same bones for their... Let's make sure Mazzy's not getting in trouble. For DMR, you know, channels, talk groups, color codes, time slots, all that. It's the same, doesn't matter what DMR radio you've got, it's the same. Yeah, it looks different, the programming software looks different, but within it, there's no difference. Right, quite bushy around here. So I like DMR, but then I like Yaesu radios. I love the Yaesu FT3D. But the 5D, the audio is better, but the design and the style, Mazzy, come. The design and the style of the FT3D, I like it, yeah. But I've got the old one, the FT1D, so, you know, the old Icon 51s, beautiful little set. So it's impossible to say what's your favourite radio, which one would you keep if you had to keep one. But I suppose it makes sense. If I had to keep one, I'd keep a Shack in the Box that's also got at least one digital element to it. So if I have to keep one, probably something like the Yaesu 991A, because with that and an open spot I can do DMR D-Star Fusion. So, you know, that's the kind of radio I would keep if I had to choose one, is the 991 built-in tuner. The FTX one, it's up there. It's up there with it's one of the ones I'd keep because it does pretty much everything. Thanks for watching my channel. Bye for now.